So, interestingly enough, many people probably are aware that AOC, which, as Curtis Sliwa says, stands for All Out Crazy. And it's actually sad. I actually support a lot of Alexandria Cortez's ideas because, honestly, a lot of her ideas, she's like she's Walmart's answer to Tulsi Gabbard. She basically hijacked a lot of Tulsi Gabbard's ideas. Like, Tulsi Gabbard had the Off Fossil Fuels Act, and then you have the Green New Deal. And one is better than the other. I'm not going to, say which one Tulsi Gabbard's. But the thing is, I would presume a lot of the reasons that I like a lot of the places where Alexandria Cortez comes from is because she hijacked a lot of Tulsi Gabbard's ideas and then stabbed her in the back. Which is probably why I don't like Alexandria Cortez. I do like that she was attacking corruption, but now she is basically just attacking white people. But ultimately, the ideas that they want to institutionalize Trump supporters. They want to keep lists of Trump supporters. They want to keep lists of everybody that worked for Donald Trump. And on top of that, what people don't understand, there's an all-out war on Karens. Now, what is Karen? Well, Karen is a derogatory term for, ironically enough, a busybody, a liberal white busybody with a bobbed haircut. It's actually funny because what a lot of the people like me would call these women in the past are blue hairs because they all dye their hair blue or pink or neon green or whatever. The kind of people that wear the genitalia uniforms. However, there is an all-out war on women of color, and that color is white. Okay? And what's funny is you can't even say it's a war on conservative women because it's not. It's a war on liberal women. Okay? Probably more so mainstream liberal women, not these crazy like BLMer women. But the fact of the matter is, generally speaking, there aren't any conservative women in the United States. I mean, if you look at it, even the ones that are conservative, like I think you could say Sarah Palin might be considered conservative, or, who's that one? Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't think she's conservative, I just think she's psychotic. But even these women do not meet the 1950s Americanist concept of what a conservative woman would be. Being moral, quiet, reserved, what have you, well-mannered, etc. I mean, they're more likely to punch somebody in the face. Most Christian women are not Christian women, they're empowered Christian women. But my point is you see an all-out war on white people. Particularly, what's most hilarious to me is you see this war by the radical left on themselves, on radical leftist women. Okay, now and that's what I find humorous. However, what's not humorous are these concepts that are slowly rising to the point where they seem to want to do what they say Germany did during the World War II era, but with white people, is what it seems like, and especially with conservative white people. And that should wake a few people up if they're paying attention, but nobody's paying attention, are they? So it is interesting to me how many people, like, this is the thing, where are the feminists now? Where are the feminists saying Black Lives Matter and all these other people are trying to ostracize and make second-class citizens out of women and to speak about women in a derogatory manner? And I already did a video about this. I think I took it down when somebody from Argentina was telling me, something about how I'm a violent person or something, and they know I'm violent, or might not have even been somebody from Argentina. The conversion between my former employer and the Argentine morons, it's weird. It's almost as though they were sharing information. But I did a whole video about what I call the melanin theory of crime. And Argentina, which has very low violent crime compared to the United States, ridiculously low violent crime compared to the United States. I wonder why. There's a certain... I can't put my finger. Why would Argentina have lower crime than the United States? Could it be that a certain group of people is not in Argentina? What group of people could that be? That's a head scratcher. I don't think I can share that on this video. However, one place where Argentina has astronomically high crime is partner violence, particularly violence against women. And I might put the links in the description of this video. But what it was this person was saying, you know, I'm this way and I'm a violent person and women should be afraid of me and all this other stuff. And I said, you know, women shouldn't be afraid of me. I'm not an Argentinian man. And I put the links to all the outrageously high amounts of violence against women by people of color, by men of color. And that's just the reality of the situation. Is it is astronomically high to see violence against women in the Hispanic communities, in the black communities, in the Middle Eastern communities. It's just outrageously disproportionate. And what people refuse to understand is whether they want to believe it or not. And this is why I called it the melanin theory. I think I called it the melanin theory of violent crime. I might have just called it the melanin theory of crime. But even if you compare, say, Rome to Celtic Britain, the level of violence and the station of women was much different in Celtic Britain than it was in Rome. Okay? If you look at, say, Scandinavia, and compare it to, say, China, at the same time period, you will notice the station of women is much different. If you compare Anglo-Saxon England to, say, Morocco, you will notice the station of women is much different. And it seems like, and this is what's so funny, is all these women shouting down the patriarchy, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant patriarchy. Honestly, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants have always exemplified fairness towards women, towards homosexuals, towards people of color, towards foreigners, towards all these different groups of people. If you compare white Anglo-Saxon Protestants to everyone else in the world, okay, you will see that they're far more accepting of everyone's weirdness, okay? It's just the truth. They're far less abusive to women. There is more of an attempt for women's rights. The whole basic reason that feminism can even exist is because it took place where? In the United States and Great Britain were the two places where feminism really took off like a rocket. Okay? Interesting. Interesting, huh? But the thing is, the feminists do not take the opportunity that they've been given to shout down the abuse of women by people of color and to stand up for their sisters of color. Whether those sisters of color are in Latin America or in an Islamic country or in Africa or in Asia or in, like, for example, China or North Korea or South Korea or Vietnam or any of these countries where women are treated like garbage, somehow the feminists have lost their voices. They've lost their voices. However, if somebody makes a raunchy comment, oh my goodness gracious. And what I find humorous is I was a big fan of the show Married with Children. Al Bundy is my hero, by the way. No, Al Bundy is my prophet, by the way. I have long wanted to actually start the real Church of No Ma'am, but I've never gotten around to it. However, a show like Married with Children could never air today. And that's quite tame. Married with Children was actually quite tame to say something like All in the Family. Or even the Jeffersons. Okay? And I find it very humorous, the way feminists somehow miraculously lose their voices when it comes to actually standing up for women's rights and standing up against people like the Black Lives Matter people and the people that support Black Lives Matter that are literally attacking white women, stigmatizing white women, and saying that all white women are stuck up, entitled. And it's funny because this is obviously transposing. They're transferring their own, what they don't like about themselves, onto someone else, although they probably do like it about themselves. But that's what you see happening in this situation. That's all for this video. Please follow the links in the description. You might find them interesting.